Scientists have been given billions of dollars to solve the problem of aging, and while most of us buy expensive creams to stop our skin from wrinkling and our bodies from sagging, the celebrities in this video seem to have the opposite problem. They're looking younger and younger as the years go by. Stick around until the end to hear about JLo's top beauty secret for glowing skin. Before we try to figure out the secret to staying forever young, make sure to like this video, subscribe to TheRichest, and join our awesome notification squad. Now let's get into 10 famous people who look younger the more they age. Cher. With her long flowing hair and endless legs, we'd forgive you for thinking that Cher is much younger than she actually is. And newsflash, she turned 72 on May 20th, 2018. Now, when you think of a 72-year-old, you probably envision them spending their days knitting, telling stories to their grandchildren, and going to bed early. But Cher is doing none of that. This famous singer is still dancing around in sequin leotards, and she's not planning on stopping anytime soon. We don't know how she does it, but the more Cher gets older, the less it seems to show. If you look back at pictures of her from the last 20 or even 30 years, it actually seems like she's defying the aging process and is on her way back down to becoming a teenager again. Cher's secret to not aging focuses around eating a healthy diet and keeping up a good exercise routine. Even at her age, she can still hold a 5-minute plank, which is way longer than what we can do. Sure, a bit of surgery has helped too, but don't forget, she's 72 years old. Will Smith. If you look at Will Smith back when he was featured on TV for the first time in 1990 and you look at pictures of him now, you'll notice that his clothing choices have changed a little. You'll also probably be shocked when you realize that there's almost 30 years between the pictures, but Will doesn't really look different at all. With the same haircut, same cheeky smile, and same dashing personality, it's almost as if he's conquered time travel. He simply jumped forward 3 decades to join us here without struggling through the aging process like the rest of us. Maybe his hair has gotten a little shorter, but that's the only real difference we can see. And when you consider that Will has gotten married and had 3 children, it's almost impossible to imagine that none of that has had an effect on his good looks. It's easy for most people's lives to get flipped upside down due to the stress of going through the motions of life, but it seems like Will doesn't suffer from that problem. Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd will forever be loved for his part in the iconic movie Clueless. A few years after that, he picked up the role of Mike Hannigan in Friends, garnering more popularity as Phoebe's goofy other half. What you might not know about Paul is that he's also got another secret up his sleeve. He's playing the lifetime role of someone incapable of looking any older, despite time passing at the same speed as it does for the rest of us. More recently, he's been recognized for his talents in the 40-year-old virgin Knocked Up, This Is 40, Ant-Man, and the Anchorman films. But no matter how many lines he's had to learn, he still doesn't appear to have gained any lines on his skin. If you take a look back at Paul's college photos from his days at the University of Kansas, his face today still displays the same grin that we all know and love. It hasn't changed a bit. Sandra Bullock. She's kept the same trademark long hair and still poses with the exact same expression, but that's not all Sandra Bullock has kept the same over the last few decades. When you compare Sandra's looks today to how she looked in 1997, it seems that she's also kept her same youthful charm. For a woman in her 50s, Sandra has the most incredible skin and hasn't developed wrinkles, despite most women of her age gaining a few. Some people have suggested that Sandra has had plastic surgery in order to keep her youthful appearance, but that's still up for debate. What we do know is that she broke her nose when she was younger, so she probably did have a nose job in order to straighten it. Another thing that might have helped Sandra to keep looking young and fresh is her German heritage. Maybe Sandra's good genes are how she's managed to fool us all for so long. Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is one of Hollywood's biggest movie stars, and some people theorize that he is immortal. There's even a whole website dedicated to this theory called KeanuReevesIsImmortal.com. On the website, there's a picture of Keanu from a 1994 red carpet event, next to a picture of him during a 2008 red carpet event. And while he's wearing very similar clothing in the photos, it's almost impossible to distinguish any difference between them. If you look at Keanu today, you still can't tell that he's aged significantly since The Matrix. He may be in his early 50s, but you'd never know it just by looking at him. When Jimmy Fallon told Keanu that people think that he's been around for centuries, Keanu responded with, "We're all stardust, baby." That's not exactly admittance of his immortality, but hey, we'll take it. There's no doubt that he keeps himself in very good shape, which definitely helps him to keep a youthful glow. And here's a fun fact that you probably didn't know about him. When he first moved to Hollywood way back when, he almost changed his name to Chuck Spadina. Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres has looked the same for about as long as we can remember, but she's been aging at the exact same pace as the rest of us, at least on the inside. On the outside, however, Ellen appears to be in on this special secret that all of these celebs are using to prevent them from ever looking a day over 35. We all love Ellen for being absolutely hilarious and for spreading good in the world, so we can't help but think that maybe the gods are giving her good karma for her deeds in the form of a youthful appearance. What might also shock you is that Ellen hasn't tried particularly hard to keep her face looking young. She just doesn't wear much makeup and she eats a vegan diet. But unlike some celebrities who are running towards plastic surgery in order to fool the world, Ellen's looks seem to come down to looking after her body and being a positive person. The Rock. The Rock might be 46 years old, but it looks like he's been pulling a Benjamin Button on us all. And if you need further proof that this guy is losing years as we speak, just take a quick look at his old photos. One picture of The Rock when he was just a young boy of 16 will make you question everything you know about this star. Not only is the actor and former wrestler sporting a frown that's a far cry from his usual smiley ways, he's also wearing one thing you wouldn't normally see on 16-year-old boys, a mustache. Sure, the reason for that is that most kids of that age can't even grow a mustache, but The Rock's stash made him look more like a 46-year-old man than he does today. We never thought we'd see him wearing anything other than a huge grin, so maybe it's that beaming smile that keeps him looking permanently young. Shakira. Do you remember who Forbes' most powerful woman in the world was back in 2014? Here's a hint, her hips don't lie. Shakira is a Colombian singer who has managed to leave a big mark on the American music industry. Not only is she talented, she's extremely beautiful too. And like a fine wine, she just seems to get better with age. According to her, her secrets to looking great at 41 are good vibes and a bright smile. Somehow that same mentality doesn't seem to work as well for us normal people. But it seems that a strict sunscreen routine and the usage of vitamin C and E capsules are what really allows Shakira to keep her youthful glow. She also makes sure to remove all of her makeup every night. Shakira doesn't diet and she instead just keeps an eye on what she's eating. She also doesn't deprive herself of chocolate and even refers to herself as a chocoholic. Shakira's still shaking her hips at shows around the world, and we're sure that her constant dancing is also what allows her to seemingly turn back the clock on her appearance. Reese Witherspoon. Reese Witherspoon filmed Legally Blonde back in 2001, and she hasn't changed on the surface since. The hit comedy, which is well over a decade and a half old, shows Reese acting out the role of a law student. When it comes to looking the part, we bet that she could still pull it off today. And while Reese has been through a lot in her life, it seems that not even motherhood can stop her from looking incredible. Her 3 children didn't seem to have an adverse effect on her amazing looks and youthful appearance. Maybe it's good fortune, or maybe it has something to do with finding a classic look and sticking to it. No one could ever say that Reese's long blonde hair and bright blue eyes will ever go out of style. But we imagine that even if she wanted to change her appearance, she'd probably still pass for someone in their 20s. Jennifer Lopez. We're sensing a theme here. A-list celebrities all seem to look like they're young adults, even when they're in their 40s, and Jennifer Lopez is no exception. Not only is her face wrinkle-free, she also has a perfectly sculpted body that most Instagrammers would die for. Like most of the others on this list, J.Lo worked hard to look this good. She always carries healthy snacks around with her to avoid reaching for chips. She eats mostly organic and she avoids caffeine. If ever she does drink coffee, she always takes decaf. She also doesn't drink or smoke. Plus, J.Lo always makes room for an intense workout with her personal trainer, something that most of us haven't gotten the hang of yet. And here's her biggest beauty secret for glowing skin. She uses glycolic acid in her routine, which is ideal for mature skin. J.Lo also wears sunscreen every day to protect her skin from harmful UV rays. Maybe all of the above tricks are what help her to look so youthful. Or maybe she's just a vampire. Either way, she looks amazing for her age. And that's all for 10 famous people who look younger the more they age. Do you agree with our list? Did we miss anyone? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.